Hello again, my name is Ben. Here I am today with another mock showcase, and here with me this time is what I call the Boa Destructor Mech. So recently I picked up the Ninjago Core Ninja Ultra Combo Mech, which is a pretty good set. You've probably seen it before. Here it is. I quite like it a lot as a mech, and it's definitely one of the better ones that LEGO's produced for Ninjago in a good bit. But one thing I don't like about this set is, and for core in general, is the lack of vehicles for the villains. And in particular, this set has this really strange one for the snakes here. Get a better look at it here. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be. You can see it there. It's not great. I don't like it all that much. And I do think that these villains have a really nice color scheme with the gunmetal, the orange, and the teal, or dark turquoise. And so I kind of wanted to give them something a bit more beefy, a bit more to their forces, because they are definitely lacking. So I decided to build a mech for them as usual, and I figured it would make a good rival to the smaller Kai mech that the combo mech's comprised of. So here this is, so you can see a size comparison with a minifigure. It's pretty tall, definitely one of the more average height mechs. See just a couple of snake eyes I get here, and then, for standards. And then I'll have it compare it to this Kai mech, and you can see the Kai mech is definitely taller, but there definitely is a lot more bulk in its arms in comparison to the Kai mech, and it definitely is meant to be more of a brawler, a bruiser, because the Boa Destructor has these large gauntlets, so I kind of wanted to emulate that in the design. So you can sort of see that there. I think they'd still make a good rivalry compared to each other. So there you go. Now, starting off with the construction, starting off the feet as usual. I did take a lot of parts from a certain set that I'm sure you'll figure it out in a minute here. But for starters, the feet here are using these sort of large spike pieces. These ones particularly are taken from the Garma Mecha Man from the Ninjago movie line of sets, which is why they have these unfortunate red stickers, which kind of break up the color scheme, but they're the only other ones that had in this color. So we're just going to have to make do with what we got, unfortunately. Now, the feet were definitely the last part I worked on here, so you can see they're a little bit rough. But I didn't really mind too much, because most of it you'll be seeing from the front, and what is meant to be seen here are these large pieces here. See some orange on the sides, some studs on the side techniques here, just getting it all filled out and making sure it's nice and stable, which this mech most certainly is, more or less. Anywho, for the lower legs, there really isn't too much going on here. Definitely want to repeat patterns in the legs and the arms here in certain respects, so you'll see some teal plates built on the base here, on the ball joints, and then for the upper parts you'll see the orange sloping tiles and some jumper open studs here, because that's what I had. So you see the knees here attach on some hinges, so that does give it knee articulation, so they can move forward and back. For the upper leg, you'll see using some more studs on the side techniques to get these gunmetal gray plates here sort of attach. It's nice armored look for the upper legs here, I should say. And then on the back of them here, you'll see these parts here using mixel ball joints, which are meant to keep the legs in place because on occasion these sort of hinges can come loose. So these ones are just keep it more secure when it's posing for its knees, which, you saw there. It can do pretty well, but those parts do have a tendency to fall. I must admit, that is definitely a bit of an issue. Now, as for the waist here, there really isn't too much to say. You see just the 2x2 brick with the ball joints on both sides. A little Nexonite shield in gray here, sort of getting more of a spiked and jagged look, which I definitely wanted to go for here, in some respects. Then as for the main torso here, I won't get a good look at it, because a lot of it's just built with studs on the side technique, so you'll see just a lot of bricks stacked on top of each other around here, some plates. Take out the figure, obviously the Boa Destructor himself, which is where most of the inspiration for the mech came from. You see it there, there are no controls. Main front part of it here is taken from the weird little vehicle that's in the combo mech. You see just some basic plating, some tiles, some slopes all around. Little orange ingot piece on the top, just some more slopes and stuff building up around it, giving a nice shape. Definitely a combination of smooth surfaces and rough textures, which feels a bit appropriate. And on the sides here, you'll see the little stud shooters that do come with the little flyer or whatever you call it. They're not the easiest to access here, but they weren't really meant to. But I mean, you still can just fire them off if you desire, and then put them back in. But they're mostly there for looks, to be honest. And then you'll see where the arms attach. In the back here, you'll see, maybe you can figure out where a lot of the orange, or not the, well, a lot of where the orange and the dark turquoise came from. I won't tell you directly, but you can leave your guesses in the comments below. And on the back here, you'll see attached on a clip with a lightsaber blade. This is where the bow Destructor's gauntlets are kept. I always enjoy having weapon storage on vehicles, so that's that there. For the arms, you'll see a pretty basic technique for the arms here, sort of making sure that they're like big and bulky looking with the joints in this particular configuration. Just put this back on because yes, these pieces have a tendency to detach because they're kind of loosely attached, but they get the job done. And then using more of those larger spiked pieces in gunmetal gray to give these sort of large, spiky, fierce imposing shoulders for the mech. You can see some gunmetal gray ingots there by just adding more of that gunmetal color scheme into the mech. You can see there some more ball joints for the lower arm. See, more just slope smoothing out the lower arms and trying to mirror the lower legs and that more focus on orange. And then the base of them here, you'll see some teal. I tried balancing out the colors, so hopefully none of them are too overtaking of the mech. And they're all sort of meant to balance each other out decently, but the main one you're supposed to see is the gunmetal. But anywho, as for the hands, they're attached on mixel ball joints to sort of switch it up. And because I didn't really need these massive hands, and then these ones sort of suffice. You see them there, just attached on mixel ball joints. You'll see there's 3 fingers and a thumb. The base of them here, you see a 2x2 plate, or a rounded plate in orange. And on the top here, you'll just see a smooth one with a inverted, or an upside down 1x1 plate. There is a reason for that, which I will quickly mention here. I didn't really give this thing too many offensive capabilities, because it's really just meant to be punching stuff all around. But I did decide to go ahead and give it one piece of weaponry. These little lasers, or missiles, or whatever you want to call them, these were actually designed for a different mech I created a while back, and were designed by my friend Will. And fortunately, they are compatible with this, and they simply just attach onto there on each of the fists. This is a very similar setup to what I had for that other mech I created. It's called Orion. You can probably check out the video if you're interested. But you can see them there. They don't really add too much or particularly detract too much from the mech, but I do just like adding on extra firepower to my mechs, because this is how I prefer to have things. So it's just another option, which I quite enjoy. But as for anything else, that kind of really does it for the mech. Personally, I do enjoy it quite a bit. I suppose it's not really just something I wanted to build and sort of experiment with some of this color scheme, because I've really always wanted to use this sort of teal, dark turquoise color, because it's always a really nice looking color. And I would like to use more gunmetal, but it's quite an uncommon color to find. So I was quite happy to work with it on this creation. The basic shaping of the mechs are a bit basic, but I think it still lends itself well to the concept. So I do think it's not too bad. I definitely feel like it could scale better with this Kai mech. But I do think I like how it scales with this smaller Zane mech, but I don't like it all that much, to be honest. But overall, I am quite happy with how this turned out, and I hope you quite enjoy the video as well. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned until next time for what else I have to upload. Hope you enjoyed it once again. And once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and goodbye.